So, hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another really special The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now, in my last Great One Tahr video, I managed to get my dream fabled fur for the Great One Tahr, which was the fabled skull variant. Now, I did say in that video I was gonna keep grinding Tahr, even if it was just sort of on the side while I was mainly going after things like tigers and snow leopards. However, I ended up coming back to the grind fairly quickly. I do seem to have a small addiction to hunting and grinding full Tahr because I love them. I think they're so cool. I have such a love-hate relationship with this species because they were so difficult to get nailed down, but now I've got them, going pretty good in terms of my grind. I can't stop going after them. And last night I came out here and I did quite a few runs and I had some really big respawns happening, some nice big diamonds, a couple of max weights and stuff. And then this guy showed up. And as you can see, it's another fabled half, which it's just so funny. Like, I do like the fabled half. Do not get me wrong, this is still a very cool animal. It's a great one. The fur still looks really cool. But it is my least favourite fur for the Great One Tahr. And I now have 4 of them. Out of the 6 Great One Tahr I have, 4 of them are fabled halves. And this guy is basically an exact duplicate of one of the other fabled halves I have. He's got the same horns as one of the other ones that I shot. So he's basically an exact duplicate, which is a bit of a shame, and it reminds me of the Mocha spoon rack fallow that I was getting on my fallow grind. I always got Mocha spoon racks, and seeing this guy with the same horns and the same fur as one of the other fabled halves, I was like, this definitely reminds me of that situation. Now, seeing as this guy is a repeat, I decided that I wouldn't take a lot of footage and just focus on getting him down. But, as you can see, that first shot didn't go to plan. I took that first shot, and I knew a good shot with the 308 normally drops these guys. He didn't drop. His health didn't drop. And I was like, that was a bad shot. I need to make a follow-up. As you saw, I made a follow-up really quickly. And that actually dropped him. And when we walked over to him there, you will have seen there was actually 2 spots of vital blood. And so I was like, oh, maybe I did actually get vitals with that first hit, and I just overthought it and panicked and ended up getting a second vital hit as well. But at this point, I was just freaking out, hoping that everything would be okay. Thankfully, we pick him up. We still got the medal. We get the music. Everything's okay. And I was so relieved. Like, even though this is, like I said, it's basically an exact duplicate of one of the other Great One Tahr I got. It's got the same horns and the same fur as one of the other fabled halves. I never want to mess up a great one. When I took that shot, and I just knew it was a bad shot. I just felt it in the pit of my stomach, and I could have thrown up. I was so panicked. But I managed to keep my cool to some degree and managed to make that follow-up shot, because you can see that first shot was in the stomach. I just let it go too far back. And I've mentioned this in 1 or 2, I think, of my previous Great One Tahr videos, that I need to keep my shots further forward. I'm just too cautious, because I always think there's a lot of that fluff and neck fur, and I'm always worried about placing the shot too far forward and hitting nothing. And sometimes that means I end up hitting too far back, and that's exactly what happened here. And that was just a bad shot. That was completely on me, but I'm really proud of the recovery I made and the fact that in those few seconds I was able to make a double lung follow-up shot and actually save the Great One medal, because there's no way, like, on anything like this that I'm just gonna exit out and try again. For me, the shot is the shot, and what happens, happens. I would rather, if I mess something up, then that's my fault, than try again, sort of thing. But the fact that I was able to recover from the bad shot actually kind of gave me a bit of confidence here, and I'm actually really happy that I managed to make that follow-up shot. And for me, that made this a bit more of an extra special encounter. I hope that makes sense, because obviously it's a great one, which is really, really special, but, you know, it is my fourth fabled half, which is it is a shame to get 4 of my least favourite fur for this particular great one. But then, when I knew that shot was bad, the panic that set in, but then also having to try and keep my mind clear enough to make that follow-up shot before he took off running, that was a really intense moment, and it really sent my heart rate spiking. Honestly, if it was a different fur, I may have been more careful with the first shot. Like, I feel like maybe I was just a little bit less careful than normal, just because, you know, it's another repeat, and that's totally on me. And you should never get complacent with trophies, and that's totally on me. You know, it's something that happened. Thankfully, we didn't end up, like, actually losing the Great One medal. We managed to recover from a bad situation, which, for me, ends up making this quite special. And I always want to share these kind of moments as well, because not everything always goes to plan. Whether it's diamonds or rares or even great ones, sometimes shots go wrong. You know, you shoot enough animals, and I feel like this goes for real life hunting as well. I've heard it from so many real life hunters. You shoot enough things, eventually something's going to go wrong. And, you know, I've shot a lot of great ones and diamonds and stuff at this point. Sometimes shots are going to go wrong. But if you can recover from it and then make a good follow-up, or track that animal and then make a good follow-up, whatever, as long as you can recover from that situation, I feel like that's always the important thing. And so for me, the fact that I was still able to, you know, successfully make a follow-up shot in that very, very tiny window that I had before this guy actually took off, I'm really actually very happy with that. And I'm really, really super relieved that I managed to still get the medal. Because even though it's a repeat, I would have been so gutted if I messed this guy up. Like, I can't tell you, I might have stopped grinding Tahr. Because for me, not messing these incredibly special trophies up it's something that, for me, is really important. I don't ever want to mess one of these things up. You know, whether it's a super rare or a great one or whatever, I never want to mess one up. And I've always said, it's my worst nightmare. And I came so close to that happening last night when this guy spawned. And it was just like so close to it actually being a complete disaster. And so I'm really happy with how I managed to recover from that situation, made that follow-up shot, and everything was okay. So, a little bit of extra drama, even though this was another repeat, but it still had its own drama, which is the thing with hunting. You never know what's going to happen. And I must remember to keep my shots a little bit further forward on these Great One Tahr. And just, you know, be a little bit more confident about keeping those shots a bit further forward, and not be so worried that I'm just going to hit just the fur at the front of the neck. Because their organs are slightly different between normal Tahr and the Great One Tahr, and so it's kind of like you practice on normal Tahr, and then when it comes to the Great One Tahr, their organs sit slightly differently. So it can be a little bit difficult, but I just need to remember, keep that shot a little bit further forward. And yeah, watching the footage back, I was actually not too unhappy with the angle that I took or anything. But as you can actually see in the harvest screen, like, it was too far back, and that's totally my fault. But it's a learning experience. You know, I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. I make mistakes just the same as anybody else. So, yeah, for me, this was just a really, really cool experience. Not only because it's this is my 6th Great One Tahr, which is actually insane to say, because I never thought I'd get 1, and now we're on number 6, and I'm currently grinding for number 7, because I just can't leave this grind alone. Now I've got it going good, I just constantly want to grind Tahr. So, yeah, I'm on the grind for number 7 right now. But yeah, just a really special moment. A learning experience, a close clutch shot, and a really, really cool animal. So, you know, really fantastic experience in my opinion. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so much for watching. And I really, really appreciate all of the support and all of the comments and everything. You guys have been fantastic while I've been doing this grind. And yeah, I am just a little bit obsessed with the Tahr at the moment, so please bear with me while I keep chasing after these. There was going to be a totally different video today with some trophies from Sundar and a couple of other maps as well. But, you know, the Great One showing up kind of made this video need to take precedence, so this is the video that will be coming out today, and I'm going to go and continue grinding Tahr straight after this. If another Great One shows up, then that will be the next video, but if not, there will be a video without some, you know, Tahr grinding in it. So, yeah, I really, really hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.